Welcome to Elemental Science Magazine. We're here to talk about what the global energy system will actually run on by 2035. This isn't about distant dreams or speculative breakthroughs. It's about the technologies that are scaling now, backed by hard data and execution on the ground. By 2035, the world won't be powered by hype. It will be powered by terawatts of solar panels, massive wind installations, energy storage at utility scale, a grid that's smart, flexible, and rebuilt for the 21st century. This isn't speculation. These are projections from the IEA, REN21, BloombergNEF, and others. Today we'll walk through what energy sources are scaling fast enough to matter, which technologies will not be ready, and the business, infrastructure, and policy implications that come next. Let's begin with the star of the 2035 energy system, solar PV. In 2024 alone, the world added 452 GW of new solar, a record. Total solar capacity reached nearly 1.9 TW. By 2035, projections show 6 to 7 TW of global solar installed. This is a 3 to 4-fold increase in just a decade. Solar is now the cheapest form of new electricity in most markets. It's dominating global capacity additions, accounting for over 80% of all new renewables in 2024. And it's the only tech on track to hit the global 2030 tripling goal. By 2035, solar will be the largest single source of electricity generation capacity. It may provide 20–25% of all global electricity. It will eclipse coal in most countries, not by politics, but by economics. But this scale brings challenges. Grid congestion at midday, supply chain stress for key minerals and components, the need to adapt market structures to the rhythm of daytime generation. These are real, but solvable. The bottom line? Any serious energy strategy from now to 2035 must center solar. If solar is king, wind is the indispensable queen of the clean energy transition. Today, wind power stands at roughly 1 TW globally. By 2035, that's projected to grow to 3 to 5 TW. Onshore wind remains the workhorse, supplying major shares of power across China, the US, India, and Europe, offering extremely low-cost generation in good locations. Offshore wind is maturing. Massive projects are ramping up in the North Sea, off the coast of China and the US East Coast. By the 2030s, these will be delivering serious output. Together, wind and solar are expected to cover over 80% of global electricity demand growth by 2035. But wind faces its own bottlenecks. Grid connection delays, supply chain issues for large components like turbine blades, rising costs in offshore markets. Still, wind will likely provide 20 to 25% of global electricity by 2035, second only to solar. Hydropower is the quiet giant, still the largest source of renewable electricity today. Current capacity, just 1.3 TW. By 2035, projected to reach 1.5–1.8 TW. Its share of electricity will decline, perhaps to around 10%, not because it's shrinking, but because solar and wind are growing so fast. Hydro's key advantage, dispatchability. It provides grid stability, load following, and can store energy via pumped storage hydro, which is expanding rapidly to support intermittent renewables. Hydro won't be flashy, but in 2035 it will be the backbone of grid flexibility in regions from Norway to Brazil to Ethiopia. The clean grid of 2035 depends on one thing: storage. By 2035, global grid-scale battery capacity could hit 2 TW, 7.3 TW, up 12x from today. Most of this will be lithium-ion batteries, 4 to 6 hour durations. These batteries will shift solar from noon to night, smooth wind variability, replace gas peaker plants in many regions. Long-duration storage is also emerging. Flow batteries, thermal and green hydrogen will gain share. EV batteries may contribute via smart vehicle-to-grid systems. Storage will be as fundamental to grid design in 2035 as power plants are today. The biggest challenge in reaching 2035 goals? Not generation, transmission and grid infrastructure. Massive new high-voltage lines are needed to connect renewables to demand centers. Smarter grids must manage variable supply and flexible demand in real time. Investment in cybersecurity, resilience, and digital tools is essential. Without policy reforms, many solar and wind projects will sit idle, waiting for grid connection. 2035 won't be powered by electrons alone. It'll be powered by wires, algorithms, and foresight. Geothermal is growing, slowly, from 16 GW today to possibly 30 to 50 GW by 2035. Valuable where resources exist, e.g. Indonesia, Kenya, Western US, 24/7 power with low land use but geographically limited. Bioenergy remains controversial. May reach 300–400 GW capacity by 2035, useful for dispatchable power, sustainable aviation fuel, and industrial heating, but constrained by land use, carbon accounting, and competition with food production. These will play supporting roles, not starring ones. Here's what won't power 2035 despite the headlines. Fusion. Pilot plants maybe in the 2040s. Zero impact on 2035 grid. Wave and tidal, still measured in megawatts, not gigawatts. Scaling is decades away. Hydrogen for power, too expensive and inefficient to meaningfully supply electricity this decade. Important technologies, but not part of the 2035 solution. R&D must continue, but deployment focus belongs with solar, wind, storage, and grid. What does the 2035 grid look like? 55% renewable electricity globally. Solar plus wind, 40%, hydro 10–12%, bioenergy, plus geothermal, 3–5%, gas, still 20–25%, mainly for backup, coal falling to 10–15%, nuclear holding at 8–10% with SMRs emerging. It's not 100% clean yet, but it's a massive shift from the 2020s. This transition has massive implications. Investment. Clean energy is now the default. Capital is flowing into solar, storage, and grids, not fossil fuels. Workforce. Millions of new jobs. Solar techs, wind engineers, battery plant operators, grid IT specialists. Policy. Governments must streamline permitting, back transmission, and support workforce transition. Supply chains. Control of critical minerals and clean tech manufacturing becomes a geostrategic issue. Winners will be those who build early, scale fast, and integrate deeply. So, by 2035, what powers the world? Not fusion, not speculation, but the sun, the wind, modern storage, and the infrastructure we build today. We're not waiting on miracle tech. We're racing to deploy what works, faster, smarter, and everywhere. That's the future, and it's already under construction. Thank you.